What's going on, guys? Big welcome to all to our channel. We are Team Crushing the Meta. You're back with another tier list video for premium. We will do one more for standard, but we start with premium because it's my favorite format. Okay, after the release of the premium collection, so now we are in July 2019. The format pretty much got chaotic and some decks went up in tiers and some went down in tier. And because now we have the big results from the Bushrod Springfest, and we will go later this year into the Autumn Fest, the Springfest gives us a nice variety of decks because it's Team League. Because of that, we can cover the premium tier list pretty well, and when we go to the Autumn Fest, then we will make another one in like 3 months to see how the format would look then. Alright, for the tiers I have tier 1, 2 and 3, and then I also add tier 4. Tier 4 is kind of a rogue tier, but we will talk about each and every tier when we go into them. First we have tier 1. Tier 1 is kind of the two most strongest deck right now, which are Oracle Think Tank and Shadow Paladin. In my opinion, those two decks are better than the others because of the way that they get the resources, their big hand advantage, and them having a very strong finisher that you have access to from the first stride. Two things were a problem with Oracle Think Tank. Actually 3, but 2 important ones. First one is the deck relied too much on one stride to win, and when you run out of still waters, that was it. You can't do anything. So it needed a second finisher. The second thing is it needed a first stride. The deck did not have a very good first stride. And the third thing is, and one of the most important, is the deck, if you rush it too much, you run out of cards from your hand and you cannot maintain Oracle. And now with the new stride, which is the new Ejikishima, you pretty much have all those 3 problems solved. And that's why Oracle Think Tank is becoming very strong and becoming a tier 1 deck. I will not go too much into it. If you want me to explain how to go against the deck or how to play with against the deck and with specific deck, you could let me know and I will try to make a video about it. But it's a tier list video, so I will not go deeper than that into the clans. Then we have Luard. It's almost the same thing. Luard needed a very good finisher, and the finisher that you get access to as a first stride. So the deck is fast, but whenever you get to your strides, it becomes slower, which is strange because the deck has very nice synergy between the V support and the premium support, so it could mix pretty well. And because of that, you needed something that combines the two. And that's what you got. Mofessa. Mofessa is a very nice stride that gives you advantage like draw power, draw 2, and then becomes a very strong finisher. And with the multi-attacking option that the clan gives you, Mofessa becomes even stronger. So that's why Shadow Paladin is so high on the list. Also, one more important thing, these two decks run a lot of cards from the V series, and because of that they are easy to make. One more important thing is that these clans are very consistent to play, and that's why they are so high on the list. They're fast, they get resources, they're consistent, and they're not that hard to make, and also not that hard to pilot actually. Next, we have the tier 2 decks. The tier 2 decks are the decks that are a little bit less good, less fast, less consistent, they have less resources, and that's why they're on tier 2. The first one that we have is Gold Paladin. Gold Paladin is still a very strong deck, and it should have gone to a tier 1.0. The reason why it's chilling on tier 2, because now people kind of know how to play against it, and people who played Gold Paladins in the past now have changed their deck to something different. Alright, I have to give a shout out to Sergio right here because he is trying to make another Gurgit's Ezel decks, which is amazing because he went last year playing that deck in Worlds, so that's amazing. But again, for golds, I think that it's still a very strong deck if it goes first, but it's sometimes you have people who know how to play against it. And one more important thing, golds is getting the XL2 marker. With the XL2 marker, the deck could play differently, could play more defensively, but could also play more aggro. So let's wait and see. Second clan that we have is Nova Grapplers. Nova Grapplers is an amazing strong clan, especially now with the Bustard and also with the different builds that you could make. Before we had so much support, people made Victor deck and they still make it in premium. But I think with time, people will fall back and play more standard stuff. But let's wait and see how the clan will progress into the format, because the problem is with Nova Grapplers, it's still slow clan. It needs the Counter Blast. With Bustard, it needs the Soul Blast. Even with Shout, even with the new crits, even with the mechanic that you could fall more soul, it's still, the deck is a little bit slower than the others. Like if you compare Nova Grapplers to Shadow Paladin, then Shadow Paladin is a lot faster. So that's the reason why Nova Grappler is chilling on tier 2. Bermuda Triangle. The deck is still doing really good in standard, the best deck in standard, and because of that, it will also do good in premium. One problem with the deck is, in my opinion, is the V stuff does not combine well with the premium stuff, and they didn't get the best stride from the premium collection. So because of that, the deck will be played less, but you will still see it, because Anji is a strong deck by itself, and with combining it with cards like Lieselot to have early rush or to cancel early rush, the deck works great. So that's why it's on tier 2. And the last one on tier 2 is a newcomer, which is Neonectar. The Neonectar with the new Katrina. Different Fight made a great video to cover that, and you can check it out if you didn't. But pretty much Katrina is an amazing stride. I think it's a bad designed card, but I'm very happy to see Neonectar such high on the list. The reason why I say it's a bad designed card, because it's a Spike Weather card. The thing is with this card, normally Neonectar will copy a name or something that you have on the field, or in your soul, in the drop zone, or something like Murakumo. They have to copy something. But with this card, you just destroy your plant tokens and you get new stuff. I'm very happy that they did it this way. Why? Because now you could rush in the early game and play the V mechanic with the premium mechanic. So Katrina mixes the two, and that's why this deck is amazing. Also, she does not have a cost, no counterblast. With that, your opponent cannot keep damage denying you, and you can't have a good turn. The same with Luard. So with Katrina, she could still do her stuff, and even with them not having a big combo because they do not have counterblast, they cannot extend their combos. The combo is still very strong, and if your opponent does not give you damage, then also you would not lose. So depending on the matchup that you play against, sometimes they have to give you damage one way or another, and maybe later on in the game. But Katrina could still work. You could play 4 Katrinas and go 4 times into her, and with that you could destroy your opponent. Now we have tier 3. Tier 3 are kind of fan favorite decks, so people love to play these decks, but they have issues while playing them into the format, or they think other decks are faster. So Royal Paladins, for example, it's a very strong clan. You have a lot of options to build from. The V series stuff works right with premium. Everything is alright about the clan. The big combo that you do with the Blast Blade, the Flogel crit, or with the Blast Blade and like Force 2 or Genzalot, or with Twin Sword with blasters, or even with Altmile Braves, it works. The deck is still strong and the deck will be played. So when going into a big event, keep in mind that Blast Blades or Royal Paladins will be there, but not as much played as other clans. The same is with Dark Irregulars. In Dark Irregulars, we do not have that big turn anymore. Actually, the turn that you do with Castile and NLK and like Master of the Fifth Element is a very strong turn. And I know that people, especially some people from Europe that I know myself, like Togen, like Daniel, me, and even Kroshinya Hageklo, which also plays Dark Regulars, will try to make different kind of decks that works into the format, and we will see the deck, but we will not see it as much as other clans. So Dark Regulars is very strong clan. Castile is an amazing card, and it could adapt to the matchup into different situations. Like you can run a lot of one-off grade 3s and still the deck would work. And that's why Gasteel is an amazing strike, especially NLK fits great into the skill, because you can ride a grade 3 from your soul, even more defensive grade 3, you can combine stuff and it would still work. Last but not least, for this tier 3, we have Mega Colony. Mega Colony as in Gridora or the old original Dark Face with the new Gridora Stride. It's an amazing clan. Like the skill of Gridora that your units cannot restand, meaning your opponent would have to ride each time into another grade 3, would have to recall their rear guards because they cannot stand and you cannot call them with a skill. It's really good. And then you have the setup for Zoa, like with calling grade 3, or you have the ability to call a grade 3 from your deck, like to restand your rear guards, as we have seen people try to play the grade 3 from the B series. It's amazing. The card is really good. The clan becomes stronger and stronger each time they get support. Problem is, people dislike playing it and dislike playing against it. And people don't know how to play against it sometimes, and people don't really know how to use the clan because it's not an easy clan to use. So people would not just pick up Mega Colony. That would not happen. People love to play Mega Colony, or people dislike playing Mega Colony. That's a thing. That's always been with Mega Colony, with Spike Brothers, with Tachikaze, with clan like that. Those. It's not like Shadow Paladin or Royal Paladins. People could just pick it up to play it in a tournament, and then after that they could go back to using their own favorite deck. Mega Colony is different in my opinion. So why is this on tier 3? It should have been higher than it. It could have been tier 2 or maybe even tier 1.0. I don't think tier 1 yet. The deck, as I said, has issues with the players and not with the deck as it is, because it's a deck that shut down a lot of other clans. Especially clans that are higher in the list. Like, it could shut down Oracle Think Tank, it could shut down clans like Shadow Paladin, like Neo Nectar, like even Nova Grapplers if you play the original Dark Face. And with that, the clan becomes really strong. So yeah. Why it's on tier 3? As I said, because people dislike playing the clan. Dislike the clan as a whole, actually, Mega Colony. I love playing it. I play Mega Colony because it's just amazing to toy with your opponent sometimes. Then we have tier 4. Tier 4 is kind of the rogue tier decks. So decks that are in here are decks that you could expect to see in tournaments. The decks that are strong, the decks that have like the surprise element into them. When you go against them in matchups. So whenever you go into your shop challenge or big event or regionals or anything, or even a monthly, and you want to know against which decks you may play, these tier lists do help you out with that. So now we have the tier 4 decks that you could less expect, but they could be there. The first one is Wiseman and Genesis. Genesis Wiseman is a very strong deck. It's a deck that could surprise your opponent, could destroy them if they do not know how to play against it, and if they do not have answers to Wiseman, as in the Griffin or H-Round or anything that could get rid of that Wiseman with the 3 extra crits on the top of it, and a huge power boost. So, 1 is Genesis, 2 is Kagura, because Kagura is doing great in Standard, people would like to play it in Premium. Blade Master is also coming, so we will see a Stand Blade Master build with the new token. We will see a lot of different stuff, because Kagura will always be a clan that has a very strong foundation. Like, G-Guards are good, Force Marker is good, the Critical 2, like the Force 2, is good in Kagura. The Restanding Vanguard is good, has answers against different clans, so that's good, and that's why it will be there. Next is Murakumo and Nobutama. Let's start with Nobutama, then we go into Murakumo. Nobutama is a strong clan. We have seen that in the Spring Fest, in the Team League. A lot of teams played a Nobutama, or had a Nobutama player, and reason is the deck, the deck as in the 2 builds that you could make, like the discard build and the Shihai build. The Shihai build is just good, it's strong. You could just abuse your opponent's regards, you could get their skills, and now with the premium collection coming, we have seen that they have got this stride that could punish your opponent while making mistakes. So because of that, like flipping a Zero's Dragon or trying to make a like an honest mistake, like when they think, oh yeah, just flip it because I don't want to use it, you get punished. With Nobutama, you get punished by calling the wrong cards from your hand with Rena skill. And with the upcoming support that Nobutama is getting, the clan will get insanely strong in premium. And because of that, the clan will be something that you will expect to see in big events. And that's why it's on a rogue tier 4. Murakumo, same thing, too many loops, too many big combos. There are some loops that you can't do anything about it if you don't have something that could interrupt your opponent's plays, and it's a very strong clan by them having that much of a surprise element into it. People don't understand how the clan work, people sometimes don't know how to play against it, and the deck has a very good V support, and because of that you could use that with premium, because the deck is a very heavy combo. Like with every promo they get, they think, oh, we can make this and we can make that and this could happen and that could happen. And that's great about Murakumo. Problem is with Murakumo, people don't know how to play it correctly, and because of that people make mistakes and people will not pick the deck up very easy, but people who love to play Mura will play Mura. Next is Link Joker. I do not have to explain Link Joker because it has a very good mechanic, which is lock. It has the Chaos Breaker build, which is strong. You can even make a strong Lendios build, and you still have the Deleter Messiah build or pure Deleters. All of those builds are strong. All of those builds you could expect, and that's why Link Joker is chilling here. Next is Spike Brothers. For me, Spike Brothers will always be my favorite clan. Going into this format, Spike Brothers went down in tiers. Why? Because first you have Meikoni and second you have Oracle Think Tank. And with those two clans at the top, it's really hard to make a Spike Brother deck. Because you want to rush, but then you don't want to play against Meikoni. Or you want to not rush, but then you don't want to go against Oracle Think Tank. So with this, I have to give a shout out to Crushing Yahagikyo, to Cirela, to Living Proof, and to every one of my friends all around the world that are trying to make a Spike with a build, because it's really hard to make a build in this format, but we will make it happen and we will definitely play Spikes in the big events, because Spike represents. Alright, now we have Pale Moon. It's the last on our list and it's the same as Murakumo. The deck has different loops, the deck has good strategies, and it has answers against another clans. And I think that people who love to play Pale Moon will try to make different builds to see how the clan will go into this format. So definitely expect Pale Moon as one of the big contenders that people would love to play it. Alright, now let's recap. We have in tier 1 Shadow Paladin and Oracle Think Tank. Then in tier 2 we have the Gold Paladins, which went a little bit down in tier. Bermuda Triangle also went down and Nova Grappers went up. Then we have a newcomer, which is Neo Nectar, so that's pretty nice. I'm hoping to see more Neo Nectar players out there. For tier 4 we have Royal, or tier 3 we have Royals, and then we have Dark Regulars and Mega Colony. Mega Colony is a clan that should be higher on the list, but if people keep dislike playing it, not picking it up, it will stay at tier 3. Dark Regulars, I'm very excited to see what people are trying to make for the big combos with Gastille. And Royal Paladins, again, will people pick it up or will people try to play another clans like Shadow Paladin? Then we have tier 4. It's a huge gap on tier 4, like we have a lot of clans chilling there, from Pale Moon to Spike Brothers to Link Joker to Mura to Nuba to Kaigero, and of course we have Genesis. Like you can see right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clans from the United Century Nation, and then we have 3 from the Dark Zone, we have 3 of Red Dragon Empire, we have only Bermuda Triangle chilling there. We will see how Grand Blue will work with the new support on Aqua Force. Will also be higher on the list in my opinion when the new support come out. Dimension Police is a clan that you have to keep in mind, especially with the Force 2 marker, but we will have to wait and see whenever the clans get support how they will be higher on the list. This is the list for now. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. This do help you with going into big events. How could you play against some of the clans and which clans you have to keep in mind. That's very important to keep these kind of videos in mind while building your deck. So if you haven't gone to our YouTube channel, or if you haven't visited our Facebook group yet, you could go and check them out. The links are below in the description section. So don't forget to subscribe, like or dislike, or comment on the video and tell us what you want to see next. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time.